Let's do a do-over. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the City Council meeting for North Bend for the date August 18th, 2026. Will the clerk please call roll?
Mayor Pro Tem Errol Tremolata,
Present.
Councilmember Brendan Elwood, Councilmember Mark Jocelyn,
Present.
Councilmember Heather Cullen,
Here.
Councilmember Rob McFarland,
Present.
Councilmember Christina Rustick, Councilmember Susan Torgerson.
Here.
All are present with the exceptions of Councilmember Elwood and Rustick, who are excused, Your Honor.
Thank you so much. We've noted that. And would you be kind enough to lead us in the flag salute tonight?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That was adorable.
I
That's
love
what you're
that.
supposed to do, though.
That was,
Who knows the rule?
that was.
Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Great to see you tonight. We're going to get our business underway. And to the young man who just showed up and did Pledge of Allegiance, you stopped in your tracks. I'm very impressed. So welcome. Come on in. Okay, Mayor Pro Tem, can I get a motion to approve tonight's agenda, please?
Yeah. Motion to approve agenda for City Council meeting on August 28th, 2026 as written.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you so much. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Moving on to consent agenda. At this time, if there's anyone from council who would like to move an item for debate from consent, please speak up at this time. Anybody? Seeing none, we'll move on to approval of consent agenda. Can I get a motion?
I so move.
Thank you. Thank you, council member. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Councilmember Colon. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously once again. And thank you again. We're moving right on to audience participation, which is one of my favorite parts of running a meeting. And we've got quite a few people tonight witnessing and being here and present. We always want to hear from our community. So there are people online, I believe, tonight, just to check in, Phil. Anybody online?
Not tonight, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you very much. So for those who are interested in chambers tonight to speak to council and myself, you're welcome to come to the podium at this time. You please state your name, your address, spell your name, I guess, for the clerk, if you don't mind, and then you have 3 minutes to speak. Anybody interested tonight?
Pick me.
Okay, Deb. We're
I know, you're surprised.
we cannot wait. Thank you, Deb.
Hello, Deborah Landers, 14615 438th Avenue Southeast in North Bend, here representing North Bend Art and Industry. Before I get to what I'm really excited to share, I want to remind you that there are 13 days left for the Art and Nature Walk before the art comes down and goes to the auction winners. So if you haven't had a chance to go and check out the art on the Snoqualmie Valley Trail, it really is pretty stunning. Additionally, we have 2 things coming up here in the next few weeks. We have our Snoqualmie Valley Art Studio Tour. We have 12 artists in 8 locations throughout the Snoqualmie Valley that are opening their home studios and professional studios for visitors for that Saturday on the 12th. So if you get a chance, it's a self-guided tour. There's a map. There's all the artists. It's pretty cool. Support local art. You know the scoop. The following weekend on Saturday, the 19th, we're doing our annual art supply swap. And this is where people donate the supplies that have been sitting in their closet forever. And then on the 19th, the people that need those supplies or want to try out a new art form come and collect anything that they want for no charge at all. So it's both kind of just moving material out of your closet and onto someone who can actually use it. So what I'm really excited, though, is to introduce our newest board member. This is Evie Sinclair. She's our youth board member. She's coming to be a junior at Mount Si High School. She's an honors student. She is also, at least last year, she was the lieutenant of the Mount Si dance team. She's still a member of the dance team. I don't know what your position. She'll be captain. And with just the last couple of months that she's been part of our board, she has brought some great energy and some great insight on how to really connect and support youth in our community. So we are thrilled to have Evie, and I would open it up if you have any questions for her. Can I do that? Oh, yeah.
We can go off script a little bit tonight.
Okay.
Is it Evie? Thank you, Evie. I love seeing young leaders stepping up, and arts and industry is amazing, but also you are the captain. And I'm glad you called it out that you are the captain. It's a leadership role. And thank you for being part of our community.
Thank you. While we're at it, anybody else from council wish to have a comment? No? Okay, well, welcome aboard, Evie. It's going to be fun to watch you grow and soar and be a part of a really a wonderful operation called North Bend Art and Industry.
We're thrilled.
Yeah, I can tell. Thank you, Deb.
That's all we have.
Okay, we'll see you next month. That's rather presumptuous, but wait a minute, it's been working. Huh. Okay. Anybody else from our beautiful community wish to speak tonight? No? Okay, wonderful. We are going to move on to commission and committee reports. Let's go to Susan Torgerson with CED, Community and Economic Development.
Okie dokie.
Yeah.
The Community Economic Development Committee met today, August 18th at 4 p.m. Here's a summary of the 4 agenda items that we covered. First, we went over a unit lot subdivision and lot splitting regulations. We reviewed proposed municipal code updates for unit lot subdivision, North Bend Municipal Code 1718, and lot splitting regulations for North Bend Municipal Code 1722. While we're doing this, these updates align with our local code with recent state legislative mandates requiring cities to provide alternative ways for land division. Unit lot subdivision 1718 works similarly to traditional short plats, but relies on overall parent lot to satisfy setbacks, lot coverage, and other dimensional standards. Residential lot splitting, it establishes a streamlined administrative process allowing a property owner to split a single residential lot into 2, creating a parent lot and a second lot. The Planning Commission recommended approval, and we, after having extensive discussion clarifying these terms and mechanisms during the committee meeting, we have come to the decision to present this on September 1st for consideration by council. Then the Snoqualmie Valley School District provided impact fees. They shared the numbers that they came up with. They adopted their capital facilities plan on June 4th to reflect statutory updates requiring fees to directly correlate with housing units' proportional impact. Fee schedules are now tiered by bedroom count across single-family homes, middle housing, which is like townhomes, and apartments. This item will come before council on September 15th for consideration and will also be including a public hearing. Then our third item we discussed is a Venture North Bend website, the maintenance and content contract. Third, we reviewed a proposed 12-month maintenance contract and content retainer for the Adventure North Bend website that launched earlier this year. The purpose ensures the site remains functional, updated, and closely aligned with North Bend's broader economic development goals. The scope adds a new dedicated page for Project Belay, Cascade Gateway, and a general overview of available light industry properties. The committee's direction, we thought maybe it might be helpful if maybe they could add to that contract the ability to make our branding kind of match better with the Adventure North Bend branding feel. This contract we placed on the main agenda for council consideration at our September 1st meeting. Then we went over the July Economic and Development Activity Report. All the council members, you have that report in your email. And the highlight of that was that the Wyndham Hotel project is currently conducting its pre-construction meeting. Following that step, a groundbreaking date will be scheduled, signaling the physical construction is officially getting underway, which I know we all are looking forward to. And our next meeting, I didn't write that down. That's going to be obviously next month on the 3rd Tuesday of the month. That concludes the Economic and Development Committee meeting.
Thank you very much. Can I impose on you to step in for Eastside Fire and Rescue as Christina Rustic is not with us tonight?
Oh, certainly.
Prepared to...
I don't really have a lot of details on it
Okay.
other than that we discussed the budget a lot again. And a lot of different agencies are discussing regional fire authority options for their groups. And that's just a quick summary.
Thank you so much. Let's see, Transportation Public Works, Councilmember Colon.
Yes, Transportation and Public Works met on July 28th at 3:00. We discussed a motion authorizing lighting removal agreement with PSE for the North Bend Way and Northwest 8th Street roundabout project. We discussed a motion authorizing supplement number 2 to design contract with KPFF for right-of-way services for the North Bend Way Mount Si Road roundabout project, which will be on our city council meeting consent agenda on today. Third, we talked about a motion authorizing amendment number 2 to the agreement for the wholesale supply of water with Solal Water Association. We discussed a motion authorizing supplement number 2 to design contract with Parametrics for South Fork Avenue Extension, North Bend Way, Northwest 8th Street roundabout project. And we have a resolution accepting federal RTCC construction funding and authorizing local match funds for the North Bend Way Mount Si Road roundabout project. Lastly, there was a resolution accepting federal TAP construction funding and authorizing local match funds for the Tanner Trail Extension project. It was a lot of roundabout talk and things that we're going to get done. And that is it.
Oh, very good. And can I impose on you, Mr. Elwood is not with us tonight. He's the chair of Public Health and Safety. Would you be able to read his?
Sure. So I am filling in
Thank
for Chair Brendan Elwood for Public Health and Safety Committee meeting. We met on August 4th at 4:00. We had a fire update by Eastside Fire and Rescue. Deputy Chief of Support Services Hicks and Deputy Chief of Special Operations Putnam provided the following updates. Wildland deployment update and additional capacity available. Fire mitigation training and education update. North Bend Station 87 building maintenance update. August 4th, 2026 National Night Out update. Communicating air quality and wildfire information with North Bend residents. Policy on using Torgerson Park as a helicopter landing location for life support transport. The North Bend Police Department gave us an update. Police Chief Hall provided the following updates. Call for service statistics for June. They had 654 calls for service. E-motorcycles, e-bikes, e-scooters. North Bend Police have seen a significant drop in use, noting contact and continued work with a small, defiant group of youth. North Bend Police have seen an increase in youth wearing helmets. Calls for service statistics for July, 605 calls for service. Outlet mall policies for issues of larceny. And we discussed entrance and exits at the outlet mall. Score jail service contract. Chief Hall provided the following update in the rate adjustment update. It's Sequoia Municipal Court update. E-bike, e-motorcycle, e-scooter signage was discussed and involving neighborhood HOAs to collaborate ideas with us upon signage for the e-motorcycle, e-scooter, e-bike signage. The future agenda topics are paragliders jumping off Mount Si in unincorporated King County and landing in Torgerson Park, e-motorcycle, e-bike, and e-scooter ordinance for review for the September 1st Public Health and Safety meeting, and Issaquah Municipal Court update. And that is it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilmember. Finance and Administration. Let's see, I've got Mr. McFarland over there. Welcome back, Rob.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Pitch hitting for Chair Rustic this evening. So the Finance and Administration Committee met last on August 4th, had a fairly tight agenda. We reviewed the audit results from the state of Washington. In their parlance, always clean audit. So we passed with flying colors, no concerns whatsoever from the auditors. That's always a good thing to hear. Second on our agenda was a June monthly budget status report. Basically, the information there was we're right on task, within a few percentage, both spending and income wise. So again, great information, nothing too exciting. Third, we did a budget in service, we'll say, part 3 of one that the finance department's been providing to the committee this year. This one was on citywide expenditures. Once we had the money in, where's it go? And there's certainly lots of places it goes, much of which you hear about each time you come to council. Next, we did a budget calendar update and review of the key dates. This committee is becoming the Get Her Done 2 committee. We get things moving along. And the most important thing that we're doing, of course, this year is getting prepared for adoption of our next biennial budget. And our target remains the first meeting in November for adoption. We reviewed the work plan for the remainder of 26, meaning what we'll be doing in our committee. And then we moved on to a topic in administrative services to just talk about, again, in preparation for the budget, the human services and cultural arts. So we're looking at new policies to help better define what those are and help us guide us towards what the city council, what the city believes it can afford to expend in those areas for adoption. That'll be coming to a work study near you in the very near future. I believe our next meeting will be September 1st, if I have that correct, and more to come. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Chairman McFarland. Okay, we're moving on to planning, parks and economic development. Mr. James Henderson.
Great.
Thanks for providing that report.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. The Planning Commission met on August 5th and held a public hearing and reviewed draft updates to the city's parking regulations, addressing provisions from recent amendments to state law. Following the public hearing, the Planning Commission recommended approval of the parking regulation amendments. The Planning Commission also reviewed draft amendments to the capital facilities element of the comprehensive plan, addressing updates regarding the police service contract with the King County Sheriff's Office, revisions to various functional plans, Snoqualmie Tribe docket requests, and other minor amendments. The Planning Commission will next meet on September 2 for a public hearing regarding the draft amendments to the capital facilities element and are expected to provide the recommendation on that draft following the hearing. The Parks Commission did not meet in July. They will next meet on August 26 and will discuss progress on a bike and pedestrian wayfinding signage and recommendations, ideas for use of their small park improvement budget for 2026. And finally, they will coordinate the city's Arbor Day recognition, which is tentatively scheduled for October 17. Finally, the Economic Development Commission did not meet in July, but will next meet on August 27th. At that meeting, the commission will receive an update about the Creative Economy Action Plan, the Adventure North Bend website, and learn about the lead generation work to date to bring outdoor recreation and manufacturing businesses to North Bend. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Henderson. Moving on to regional committee reports. Let's see, Councilmember Jocelyn, do you have anything to update us for?
I do not. The Public Issues Committee, the Sound Cities Association did not meet in August, nor did the Puget Sound Regional Council Executive Board. They will both hold meetings in September.
Thank you very much. Councilmember, let's see, Torgerson, I think you have something to provide tonight.
I do have a couple of things.
Sure.
First of all, the Regional Law, Safety, and Justice Committee did not meet as well in the last 2 months. That we will be meeting August 27th, though. So that should be an exciting meeting. I'm excited about it. And then we had the inaugural Regional Fire Authority Planning Committee special joint meeting between the City of North Bend and Fire District 38, which took place on August 13th at the North Bend City Hall. As a reminder, this is an advisory committee. Our purpose is to study, evaluate, and plan for the future for our regional fire protection services, including whether to recommend the creation of a regional fire protection service authority to our respective legislative bodies. During this first meeting, leadership was established. I was appointed to serve as chair, and Chris Darlene from District 38 will serve as vice chair. Educational overview, the staff provided a comprehensive overview of what an RFA under Washington state law is and presented examples of existing fire authorities across the state to give us some operational context. We reviewed some service area maps, and committee members asked several detailed questions about Station 87 and how it currently its response footprint serves the entire region. To prepare for our next steps, the committee members were asked to bring their policy questions and feedback to the next meeting, as well as review the draft documents provided by our attorney, Deanna Gregory. Our second joint meeting is scheduled for Thursday, August 27th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. That concludes that report. And then I also have some highlights from the Snow Valley Chamber. They had a candidate forum, which was held towards the beginning of this month. Upcoming forum, they're planning to do a general election candidate forum on October 13th at 6 p.m. at the North Bend Theater. The Port of Seattle tour, they participated in an elected officials tour with the Port of Seattle. There was a chamber chat hosted with a successful conversation with Mayor Miller and Chief Hall, and they're planning to do more. Ribbon cutting celebrated North Bend businesses, including Pathfinder Foundry, founded by Mark Cressy, and North Bend Pottery. They're also working on Best of the Valley. They launched the program in partnership with the Snoqualmie Valley Record. And then nominations open through August 27th, over 600 nominations so far. We will then take the top 3 of each category and we'll have the Valley vote to decide the best of the Valley. And then there'll be a big celebration apparently on October 16th to celebrate all of the winners. And that concludes the regional reports.
Thank you very much. We'll move on to introductions. Item number 6, motion authorizing supplement number 2 with parametrics for South Fork Avenue Extension and Starfish Roundabout projects. Tom Moore, let us know all about it, if you don't mind. We're all ears.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. On page 22 of the packet, you will see the agenda bill authorizing supplement number 2 to the design contract with parametrics for the South Fork Avenue Extension and North Bend Way Northwest 8th Street Roundabout project. TPW requested staff use a few slides to go through this with full council, so we'll get that started here. There's also a hard copy in front of you if you want to take a look at that. In 2024, a federal grant was awarded for design of this project, which consisted of about $967,000 in federal funds and $150,000 in local match funds. The original design contract with parametrics was for $1,066,604. And that scope was pretty light on the environmental tasks, as it was hard to scope that at the time because it's a big complex project and we needed to get into preliminary design a little bit further. So supplement number 1 to the design contract with parametrics was for an additional $99,000 to the original design contract. And supplement number 1 was approved per the mayor's authority and included the following work. Additional cultural resources evaluation due to expanded area of impact of the project, preparation of shoreline management permit application, preparation of a tree retention plan, and coordination with King County Conservation Futures for the city-owned tollgate property. A little more background on that. King County Futures, Conservation Futures funding was used to purchase tollgate, and there's a condition on the title that basically says the property can only be used for passive uses, which essentially means walking trails, but not roads. So now that the roundabout project is shifting Northwest 8th Street into tollgate slightly, we need to essentially exchange city property with the King County Futures condition of title. So we're looking at a piece of property on the other side of the river from the bypass, and we'll bring that to a future council meeting for approval to get taken care of. The last item is more stormwater management related. We had to do some revisions to the surface water management approach and to the environmental site assessment or ESA documents in regard to 6-PPD. 6-PPD is a chemical that comes from car tires as they break down. This leaches into the storm system, then gets into our streams and creeks. And these streams and the chemicals is pretty lethal to most fish species, including salmon. Which is because this is a federally funded design project. National Marine Fisheries got involved And if you've heard anything on the news about this, the biggest issue is they're concerned with orcas because salmon's their food source. So it took a lot of additional effort to navigate this issue through NEPA, the NEPA process, and this was scoped back in 2024. And this is a fairly new issue, so it just wasn't on our radar at the time. You can go ahead and flip the slide there. Then in late 2024, the Transportation Improvement Board, or TIB, awarded the city $4.25 million for construction of the roundabout and bypass project. TIB wanted these funds to be spent down starting in 26, but our schedule was to build these roundabout and bypass project in 27. So kind of what started the supplement number 2 that we're reviewing tonight is the fact that we needed to split these projects up to get the roundabout started in 26. Supplement number 2 to the design contract with Parametrics, which is our focus tonight, is an additional $225,000 and change, and includes additional environmental analysis and permitting because of the projects are being bid separately. And the initial feedback that we got from the Department of Ecology on the shoreline management permitting for the bypass is going to take additional effort as well. We also spent more time put more time on that supplement number 1 issue of the 6 PPD issue. This accounted for about $60,000 of the $225,000 increase for supplement number 2. Additional PS&E work for separating the projects. This is a huge plan set for both these projects. So we need to spend about another $115,000 of this $225,000 to separate the plan sets. It's about 150 sheet plan set. All the plans are intermingled, and it takes a lot of effort to separate those plan sets and the specs. And then the last portion of that $225,000, we have to prepare a separate inadvertent discovery and monitoring plans for the bypass and roundabout projects separately. That's a cultural resource issue. We have additional right-of-way services regarding the King County Conservation Futures issue we just discussed on supplement number 1. And there's obviously additional project management tasks that make up the rest of this request. So just kind of a recap, the total project construction cost of the bypass and the roundabout's about $9.6 million. We typically shoot for design costs in the 15 to 18% range of construction costs. With the original contract and the 2 supplements we just discussed, we're at about 14.5% of the construction costs. So we're still below that threshold that we try to match up with when we're looking at budget for design. And then just as a side note, by putting the roundabout project out to bid a year early, we're probably saving on the order of 5 to 10% in construction costs because construction costs are going through the roof. The bid price on the total construction cost of the roundabout is about $3.6 million. So you're looking at anywhere from $180,000 to $360,000, I would say we saved by putting this project out a year early for construction. TPW approved this at the end of July meeting, and happy to answer any questions from council.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Council, do you have any clarifying questions for Mr. Moore? Ms. Torreson.
Regarding the tollgate property land swap, if for some reason that doesn't go through, how will that affect the rest of the project?
We've already been working with King County Conservation Futures, so it's going through. They just haven't went through this process very many times, so we're kind of the guinea pig right now going through it. We've already agreed to an area that we can swap. It's just figuring out the process to get through King County's process.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. Oh, Heather.
I don't know if I'm going to word this question right, but is there a way in the future that we could be proactive on what environmental needs or cultural land needs we might be looking at afterwards? Could we be ahead of it? Is what I'm trying to ask.
That would be ideal. Unfortunately, the regulating agencies are the ones that we think we're going down the right path based on previous experience with past projects. And then they throw us a curveball and we end up asking for more work. The 6 PPD issue was not an issue in 23 when we initially scoped this project. That was an issue that kind of started in early 2025 when they started doing all that testing of fish in the streams. So that just wasn't on our scope to start with. So, but I agree. Well, this is a good project to learn from moving forward because it is a complex project on any projects we have in the future. So,
Anybody else? Okay, this came through, of course, Transportation Public Works, which you're the chair of. Ms. Colon, would you like to make the motion?
Yes.
Great, thank you.
Motion to approve AB 26-070, authorizing supplement number 2 to the engineering contract with Parametrics for the South Fork Avenue Extension and Starfish Roundabout projects in a form and content acceptable to the city attorney in an amount not to exceed $225,938.70.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. McFarland. Motion by Ms. Colon and second by Mr. McFarland. Ms. Colon, would you like to add anything more or say anything more?
We've been working on this project for a very long time. It's our belief that it will help traffic in our city and make better routes for trucking.
Thank you very much.
Just a point of information. My agenda packet says it's AB 26-069, not 070. Am I at the wrong one? But it's the one you just cited.
Did I? I meant
Supplement number 2 with KPFF for right-of-way services for the North Bend Waymount site.
No,
Oh, I'm wrong.
no.
I'm sorry. I
Hey, there's a
apologize.
first.
70. I stand corrected.
It's okay. Okay, where we leave it here. Okay, so any other questions or comments from council? Rob, sorry.
Pointing out again that my dear colleague was wrong for the first time. But almost everybody in the room will recall that I love roundabouts. And a Starfish is a new one. And I was so excited to see that it's underway and moving along what appears to be very nicely, despite the fact that you don't own the land you're building on. I don't know about that piece, but it's great. And I'll just, this is the tip of a project, and Ms. Colon alluded to it. This whole project has been a long time coming. In fact, I think it was on the tip, the Transportation Improvement Plan, when I arrived in the community. So we're talking nearly 30 years, I think it's been there, roughly, that the idea of the bypass has been there. So it's very exciting to see it moving forward overall. That's great. And then and just the final on the love of roundabouts, I also noticed the new sidewalk going in at 436th and Cedar Falls. And it certainly appears it's being designed for a future roundabout allowance. Way to go.
Okay, awesome. Anybody else wish to make a comment? No? Okay.
Your Honor, I wish to, but I won't. Thanks.
This would be your time, Mark. Don't hold back. Okay. Okay. I'll read the motion, I guess. Motion to approve AB 26-070, authorizing supplement number 2 to the engineering contract with Parametrics for the South Fork Avenue Extension and Starfish Roundabout projects in a form and content acceptable to the city attorney in an amount not to exceed $225,938.70. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes 100% there. 5-0. Okay, moving on to item number 7, resolution approving the parks element amendments for the 2026 North Bend Comprehensive Plan update. Mr. Mike McCarty, would you be kind enough to let us know all
Thank
about
you, Mayor. I'm very happy to bring the draft 2026 amendments to the parks element to the council tonight. So the parks element is the city's long-range plan for guiding the planning and implementation of park and trail improvements over the next 20 years. So the amendments before you tonight started with a fairly extensive review process that began back in January with our Parks Commission. It's included a public workshop on May 28th and a public hearing before a joint meeting of the Parks Commission and Planning Commission on June 17th. So these amendments are based on relevant public input that had been received since the time that the parks element was last updated, including the Skyview Metropolitan Park District 2024 Parks Survey, the city's shoreline public access and trail plan public engagement, and the engagement activities to date associated with the drafting of the Bike North Bend plan, which is still in development. So key revisions as a part of this amendment include revisions to the park level of service standards, including adding a new multi-use trail standard, revisions to policy language responsive to requested dockets received from the Snoqualmie tribe during the city's 2026 docket cycle, revisions to the projects on the park's capital facilities plan, and updates to the maps as a part of the element for a simpler and clearer presentation. So at their joint meeting on June 17th, the Planning Commission and Parks Commission provided a recommendation of approval, but each had specific additional recommendations that I wanted to note for you tonight. The Parks Commission, in addition to their recommendation of approval, recommended that the council direct staff to develop an entirely new Parks, Recreation, and Open Space plan rather than simply amending the existing plan the next time that we bring forward a major amendment to the parks element. They felt like that it's time to go through a major planning process to reconsider the goals and objectives of the plan. The Planning Commission likewise had a specific recommendation that at the time that we also, or ahead of the time that we next update or adopt a new parks element, that the council directs staff to review the level of service standards for a pool to better consider those levels of service standards in relation to needs in the community. There's also a few amendments that I want to note that were made to the Parks Capital Facilities Plan following the Parks Commission and Planning Commission's recommendation. The first one is that we've added Project Belay to the Parks Capital Facilities Plan, and that's to provide opportunity for contributing park impact fee revenue toward the public portion of that private-public partnership project for a community climbing gym and community center. And then second, we've also added or re-added a project called Acquiring a Park in the Southern Part of the City, which was previously deleted from the draft update in order to leave that option open for use of park impact fee revenue for potential acquisition of a property should council have interest in such a proposal during the 6-year period. So the action before council tonight is a resolution rather than adopting ordinance, authorizing approval of the amendments to the parks element with the rest of the city's 2026 comprehensive plan amendments. And those collective 2026 amendments to the comp plan, which will also include amendments to our capital facilities plan, will be brought to council later this year for formal adoption. So staff recommend approval of these amendments. They've been through quite a bit of consideration of the public and the both of the commissions, and I'll turn it over to council for any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Riccardi. Any clarifying questions from Mike? Mr. McFarland.
I didn't think I'd be the only one. I have 3, one of which I was still searching down. First one, just to clarify, I think you said it, Mike, but Project Belay. So the addition of that in the projected budget, this is not a commitment to spend. This gives us the option.
That's correct. Yeah, if we're using park capital facility or parks impact fees, it has to be on the 6-year park capital improvement plan.
Thought so. Thank you. Next question may be a little bit harder, but I bet you've got it nailed. Page 36 in the packet, I believe that's page 4 of the chapter. There is an edit in the table and in the explanation above to the table 1. I saw PSRC struck. I see that the 2044 forecast was reduced from 12,579 to 11,495. That's about a 8% reduction. What's the derivative? Where did that originate?
Yeah, so this is all to ensure internal consistency within our comprehensive plan. There's always a zillion ways to forecast. And back when we started the parks element for our last 2024 update, it was actually done in 2022 because we had so many different elements to work through. And we'd provided our own forecast. By the time that we rolled around to the land use element, which was prepared by a consultant using a lot more technology and sophistication than what staff could do internally. They came up with that estimate of 11,495. So we're revising the parks element forecast for consistency with the land use element forecast.
Well, I think I got it. But so you're saying the more precise number that's now reflected here was also used in the land use element already adopted.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. And then the third one should be a little easier. I might have missed it. I didn't see Tenant Trailhead Park mentioned, and I saw another park that I don't know where that is, that sounded kind of like it, a bike.
So Tenant Trailhead Park is not mentioned because that's done. So we've removed it from the Parks Capital Facilities Plan because we've used the funds and constructed the park.
I thought I was in the section that was just listing out the major features of North Bend because it has Skyview, all
okay.
our other parks. That's the section I was in. That's the one I was trying to find when I got called on.
We have it on page 39 of the packet, page 7 of the element.
Okay. My colleague to get back at me found it for me. Thank you. I'm good.
Okay, any other clarifying questions for Mike? Mr. McCarty? Seeing none, okay, this came through Chair Torgerson's committees, Community and Economic Development. Would you like to make the motion, please?
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Motion to approve AB 26-071, a resolution approving the Parks Element amendments for the 2026 North Bend Comprehensive Plan update.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. Motion by Ms. Torgerson, second by Mr. Jocelyn. Ms. Torgerson, would you like to say anything, add anything to your comments?
Certainly. It's been well thought out. Many people have been involved and lots of input has been provided. So I think it's been really vetted. And this is an update to our existing North Bend Comprehensive Plan. And I think that we should do it.
Excellent. Mr. Jocelyn, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Just to acknowledge all the hard work and effort of staff. I do also want to call out the significant revisions that were included based on comments provided by the tribe, and just the more affirming, embracing language of that perspective that exists in our community, and often has not been as acknowledged and recognized as it is in this document. I think that's significant and worthy of acknowledgement. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Anybody else wish to comment? No, Mr. McFarland.
I think it's essentially been said as well, but I mean, it's not only staff, a tremendous amount of work. Parks Commission obviously spent tremendous amount of time doing this, as well as a lot of community members feeding information in addition to the tribe. And so this is one of these elements that perhaps attracts more citizen participation than many others that seem bland to the public at large. Parks are a big deal. And it always amazes me when I look at it, how rich we are in park facilities and our open spaces here in North Bend. We're very fortunate in that regard. I'm going to throw one slight downer on it and say, I think we've got to be very cautious as we move forward that we don't tip over as we see budget challenges in front of us, because it is obviously something we devote a lot of money to just in maintenance. And so it's great to have them. Public, please keep in mind that means we need support to take care of them. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I think we're ready to make the motion. Motion to approve AB 26-071, a resolution approving the Parks Element amendments for the 2026 North Bend Comprehensive Plan update. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, one and all. Okay, we're going to move right on to Mayor, Council, Administrator concerns and initiatives. Let's start with welcome back, Mr. McFarland.
Turning to me.
Yeah.
Wow,
Don't
wasn't
be-
ready for that one either. Let me find my notes. Let me find my prepared notes. So you're hearing the welcome back and such. Yes, I've been traveling. I've been on the road for a while. It's nice to meet all of you again. I did recently on that return come through Spokane. I know in the last meeting, the fires out there were spoken to, but I saw the results firsthand. We actually stayed in Spokane, which I felt a little guilty about, to even use a hotel room because the hotels are very full of residents who lost their homes. And so my heart goes out to those families that have been displaced and to the businesses that have been ruined there. But it does give the segue of a great reminder. Even here, it is dry, dry, dry out there, folks. I was shocked when I drove into town at how dry the condition. I mean, we get dry every summer, but it feels to me way beyond the pale this. So just a reminder, any ember, any tiny flame could result in an incredible loss for us. And then my share tonight on the usual round for me, an unfortunate double entente. Billy Joel, 1989, we didn't start the fire. This one was going through my head for other reasons. It's amazing how many events and topics were named in just that one song. And in some ways, unfortunately, how many still fit today. And so instead of reading you lines, I'm just going to give you a couple of the names called out. Kennedy, Castro, trouble in the Suez, Ayatollahs in Iran, Lebanon, and on and on and on. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. McFarland. Mr. Jocelyn.
Thank you, Your Honor. The last few days, it came to my attention, there was a gentleman driving through town in a Jeep Wrangler with a large flag flying off the back, acknowledging the Snoqualmie Indian tribe. Now, there's people driving through this town regularly with any number of flags flying off the back of their vehicles. I noticed the vehicle parked on North Bend Way across the street from the QFC, assuming that the gentleman lived in the apartments there. This morning, on my way out of town, it caught my eye that that same vehicle had not one, not two, but 4 flat tires, and they're great big, huge tires. Coming home, I saw him working on repairing his vehicle, so I went up and introduced myself as a member of the council, and it didn't have a lot to offer. I did offer my time to help him, and I said, so someone just decided to puncture 4 of your tires, and he said, oh no, 5, because they'd also put a knife through I presume, through the sidewall of the spare tire on the back of his vehicle, and I can only assume this was done because of the flag acknowledging the Snoqualmie Indian tribe, hanging off the back of his truck, and it's terrible. It's just absolutely unacceptable to me that that sort of thing exists in this community in these times when we all face, as some of which acknowledged by my fellow council member here to my left. These are tough times for lots of people economically. Access to health care is challenging. Gas prices are through the roof. It's hard to keep food on the table. And we just simply need to do better in looking out for and caring for each other, and to act that way in this community is outrageous. It has been brought to the attention of our police department, and I don't know what to expect on them. It's got to be difficult to track down such things, but I did want to just speak to that tonight and share my outrage. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Jocelyn. Ms. Torgerson.
Oops, there we go. I just wanted to comment too on the fire danger that's out there. My daughter just came back from Montana actually, and to get through Washington, they had to wait because there was a fire off the side of I-90 and they closed the road. So you know, it's everywhere. And she was literally scared. She was like, I don't know what to do, you know? So it can be scary knowing that there's a fire that's going across the freeway and you don't want to, you know, have your car catch on fire. So anyways, I just would say to be cognizant of don't throw anything out your window like a cigarette or anything like that. And just be aware. Secondly, when it comes to gas, you know, that I've recently learned that the Tribe on Tuesdays, $3.99 per gallon for the month of August. And so sure, there's gonna be a long line there, but that's a great price. So the third thing I have is on our new packets, this is for the city. I'm challenged in finding documents because our old packets would have the page number so I could go to it directly. I don't know if we can figure out a way to add that back in, but it's hard to find where it starts and ends. And then apparently we're printing on both sides. So sometimes I can't find it because of that, is that if the beginning of the agenda bill is on the back of the previous topic, I'm still searching to find that page. So I don't know if we can do some different formatting on that or not. So I just wanted to point that out. And that's all I have.
Thank you very much, Ms. Colon.
Completely different track. I have noticed this month particularly a lot of more of our wildlife wandering around our town and in our streets. And I would just like everybody to be aware and be cautious of bears, deer, elk, even the coyotes. I think they're whelping or whatever they call that, but just be aware and try not to run over any wildlife and let them have their space. That is it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Tremolata.
Sure. A couple things. Let's see, this is going to be in a week or so. There's going to be a ribbon cutting for a large project that we've all seen go up for Skyview Metropolitan Park District's new administration building. So that group obviously does a ton of work for us. We're very proud of them. Mr. Jocelyn has done so much for it. And so this is an exciting time. So hopefully we can all head out and support that. I will do my best to be there as well. And I would be remiss not to remind you that 4 in 10 adults, 42% said they have experienced loneliness at least once a week, including 16% that experience it every day. That's up actually almost 10% from last year. But on the other side of the coin, more than 1 in 4 Americans have talked to a mental health professional in the past year, and 60% say there is less stigma this year than there was 10 years ago. So I think the conversation is working. Let's continue to talk about it. Check in on your friends. Don't let the hard days win.
Ms. Emery.
Thank you, Mayor. So I would like to acknowledge our fabulous, and Rashay, I'm sorry, I'm going to embarrass you now. Our fabulous intern we've had with IT over the summer. He is heading back to college at like a couple weeks, I think it is, Rashay. So I'd like to give a hand to Rashay. He has helped Phil so much. He's done some amazing projects for us this summer, and we are grateful for him and joining us this summer. There you go.
You wouldn't want to come up and speak to us, would you? I enjoy you thoroughly, so I'm going to miss you terribly just by that. Okay. Okay, good. Anybody want to say anything to our really talented young man who's been helping us out?
Okay. Mayor, I have one last update, kind of piggybacking on Councilmember McFarland. We were contacted by the Seattle Times this week to ask kind of parallels to the Spokane experience, what we have been doing out in North Bend to prepare for wildfire. We mentioned a lot of the initiatives we've done over the summer, as well as the start of Aaron's working on the CERT program. We're going to get that launched for the community involvement. As we said to the Seattle Times, we have a very active community. We learned that very much in the flood issue that we had over the winter, and folks want to be involved helping other folks, and how you can prep your home for wildfire and make sure that you're doing what you can to have your evacuation plan, make sure. And Spokane did an amazing job at evacuating folks, and we are focusing on our vulnerable population, you know, any of our homes that we need to evacuate quickly, where do we place folks, hotel vouchers, things like that, so that we can make sure that we have a plan for our vulnerable population. So stay tuned to that. We'll have more updates on as we go for that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, you sure can.
Great. Thank you. And please look at where our code may conflict with those needs?
Yes, I will add one thing to Councilmember McFarland, and Tom, I don't want to put you on the spot, but Tom's parents live in Spokane as well as part of Heather's family. And truly the fences that you have in our, the wood and the chemical in the fences act as a conduit for fire. And that was very telling in Spokane. So I think there is things that we can look at for what our code is and what our building products that we're using. It is, yeah.
I would like to add one thing. My parents lived across the street from where the fire went through and took down everything down to the foundation, like in the development right across the street. Probably 1 in 10 houses in their neighborhood went down just due to embers coming down and stuff like that. And like Amber just noted, they had 2 stained fences that brought fire to the house, burnt down half their garage, burnt down their shed. And if it wasn't for the firefighters, it just happened to be in their backyard because that was the first place they were at to put those out, they probably would have lost their house too. So it seems like a little issue, but I feel like that's something we should hop on right away.
Thank you, Mayor Emery, for bringing that up. Tom, for speaking to that, Mr. McFarland as well. These are very top of mind, important issues that we're facing right now. Emergency preparedness is certainly at the top of the list. Let me begin. I got a little bit to say. The 2027 Comprehensive Plan Amendment Cycle is now accepting community proposals for amendments. Amendment proposals are due no later than 4:30 p.m. on October 15th, 2026. For additional information, please check out the news section on our website. Effective beginning August 7th, King County Fire Chiefs Association issued a Stage 2 burn ban in response to continued hot and dry weather, high fire danger throughout King County, and the ongoing commitment of many local wildland firefighting resources outside the region. The ban prohibits all outdoor fires, including recreational campfires, cooking fires, and ceremonial fires. The ban will remain in effect until further notice. Beginning Saturday, August 15th, Stage 1 of the city's Water Conservation Ordinance went into effect. To find out more about when you can water your lawn and garden during Stage 1 and other water conservation tips, please visit the news section of the city website. Everything that was said tonight is very heartfelt. I appreciate all your honest comments you make each time that we have council meetings at the end of the evening. Mine tonight is always to get back to heading out into the woods, into the rivers, into the lakes. Please be prepared. Research if you need to what the conditions are, and of course have your essentials, your 10 essentials with you. And if you're in the water, it's okay to have a buddy next to you or near you. Communicate where you're going to someone close by or a family member so you're not lost out in the woods or on the trails. We don't ever want to see that. And search and rescue, God bless these people. They're amazing, and we really appreciate all their efforts each and every day. Okay, please take care of yourself and everybody else, but let's have an adjournment. Who would like?
I move we adjourn.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you so much, everybody. Take care.